my name is Jasna Dolic and I will be showing you on how to do tapestries from upcycled and recycled textiles, old-fashioned, and anything you could possibly use to create beautiful artwork, especially outdoor. Now, the purpose of these tapestries is to raise awareness of the textile industry and the fashion industry and its impact on the environment. So hopefully I will be giving you some inspirational ideas on how to reuse, upcycle, recycle, fix and things like that instead of throwing things into a landfill. To make the tapestries, basically you will need, depending on what kind of backing you use, you can use anything from mesh to basically chicken fence wire like I've got here. So you can make this into shapes as well, 3Ds. You can also use just panels of wire, which you can also create works with, and also just a plain mesh plastic. So this is something that I would buy if you don't have old things to recycle. I usually use anything that's metal and that's mesh. For example, if you've got old cooling cakes or muffins wires, like you can turn them into shapes. You can also add plastic parts of bottles or packaging to create wings if you're creating a butterfly, or you can add petals if you want to make a flower or sunflower and things like that. So this is the basic thing, but it can be really anything and you can use your imagination as much as possible. The other thing is that you will need is something to hold, unless it's a solid structure and chicken wire or something like that, you might want to use backing to hold your or create a stand. You can use old photo frame, you can use clothesline to pin your fabrics on, or the backing, or you can use just simply plain canvas, and this will basically give you plenty of support. So I usually sit on a chair when I do it, and I'll show you that later. Then you can use anything out of your clothing you possibly have. You can also use old sheets, you can use shopping bags, which are quite pollutable items these days as well. We might think that we are saving the environment by bringing a bag, but then we keep buying them and just stocking up on the bags. So here I've got an old t-shirt. So I've been painting in it, so it's full of paint. So basically you need a good pair of scissors to cut it with, or you can just start the top and then keep tearing it. It's so satisfactory. So, and then you can cut those pieces into strings and put them into your separated, or sometimes I do have a mixed colors fabrics, which I then keep knotting. And so this is what I've done from the old pair of pants. It's a beautiful color. So really, and it's linen, so I like to use especially natural fabrics, silks, linens, cotton and things like that. So here's an example of one shopping bag. So I cut them into strings as well. You can make little shapes and keep knotting onto your onions bags and potato bags. So I keep reusing them as well. I've got here old cotton cushion cover, which I'll also rip apart and make lots of strings with. Old sheer curtain. Sometimes they go yucky with time, so they're great. They create a great impact once they've been tied up. Here I've got pre-cut materials. It's also old t-shirt. Things like this are electrical wires. They look great on tapestries, and you can bend them in shape into whatever you want. And with thicker ones, I also make lamp shades or chandelier shades. Old wrapping and ribbons. What else? There's more electrical cables. So these are the offcuts from what my electrician has been using to do some work around the house. You will need a good set of pliers or something that you would use to cut the cables with, and string and mesh wire backing for your tapestry as well. So just nothing too much, just basic jewelry making item tools. So that's basically when it comes to clothing. I also reuse old and colorful bottles from shampoos, body washes, from detergents. I also use glass jars and anything that kind of looks appealing to me and I can turn into art. So these tapestries are pretty much, I've done things like this since I was 6 years old, and the first tapestry I've done was with, it's a different style, and I've done a horse picture for my grandfather who had his own horses and lived on a farm, and this made him so happy. And I did other things like crocheting and also needlework, and I find that very, very therapeutic anytime I was feeling stressed. So this all came back now when we were in lockdown, and it created quite an impact because I've been displaying my love heart shaped tapestries, butterflies, rainbows, dragons and many other shapes around the area where I live in Dandenong North. And kids have been quite overwhelmed and happy, especially not being able to use the playgrounds. So we would basically see them walking past and admiring at least something I did in my spare time, and just to create a bit of love, positivity and I guess hope in all this confusion that we live in at the moment. Example of reusing our fashion and old clothing is creating gift wrapping ribbons, face masks. I also make pom-poms and hair pieces. So this is basically made from the old linen pants, which I've ripped into pieces. This is from the old dress, and again electrical wires and cables, computer cables. I've created a lamp shape.
Let's get ready to walk the Bluestones again. Let's curse Punt Road. Let's ride the Frankston line. Let's dodge swooping Maggies. Let's cross the inglorious river. Let's get ready to chuck hook turns in the rain. Let's order obnoxious coffees. Let's queue for dimmies. Let's avoid outbound on the Tulla. Let's wear the blackest black. Let's Gertrude, let's Bay, let's Burke, let's Hoddle. Let's Melbourne again, an initiative to reinvigorate Melbourne from those who love this city.